Thank you, Lucy. So, I'll be talking about the crazy mad angles, especially in relation to the decentration of eye worlds. So, so until a few years ago, we used to do cataract surgery, and next day we used to check the vision. If it is 6/6, then we used to feel that the target is achieved. But in recent years, that is not so. It is not only the quality of quantity of vision, the quality of vision is also very important. With 6/6 vision, is the quality of vision is enough? No. So visual outcome is a combination of quantity, that is 6/6, and good quality vision. So what are the factors affecting the quality of vision? So there are two. One is axis and angles. The second one is corneal aberrations. So let us see what are the axis and angles. So this is the center of the limbus, then the pupillary center, then the nodal point, the retina. So the line passing through the nodal point is visual axis, and the line passing through the center of the cornea, lens and retina is called optical axis. The visual axis is basically fixation, the line passing between the fixation point and the fovea. The angle between these two is called angle alpha. So this is the optical, the green color ring is the limbus, and the center to that is the optical center of the cornea. And the blue color one is the pupillary margin, and the dot in the center is the pupillary center. Then the visual axis. So there are three centers. One is optical center, the green one, then the pupillary center, then the visual axis. So the angle between, or the distance between the visual axis and optical center is angle alpha. The distance between the visual axis and pupillary center is angle kappa. So what are the factors which can have a problem with this decentration? Basically, like if there is any large angle alpha or any other thing which are related to surgery can affect these points. So we have to have a centering capsular axis, the central 5 millimeter axis is a key point in this for a good cataract surgery, and implant also. So ideal rexis should be continuous, circular. It should overlap IOL around 360 degree. If the rexis is not well centered, it can tilt the IOL or decenter the IOL, which can result into dysphotopsia or reduced visual acuity. So femtosecond, like for a good centration of the IOL, we can do a ideal rexis, or we can use a femtosecond laser, or we can use a CTR to stabilize the back, as well as that sometimes can cause a very good centration of the IOL. So if the capsular rexis is too small, it can lead to a fibrosis of hymosis, which leads to asymmetric shrinkage of the back, which can result in anterior posterior shift or decentration of IOL. If the capsular bag is too big, that can lead to a capsular fusion, that in turn results in aggressive capsular fibrosis, which in turn results in displacement or tilting of the IOL. So same thing, like contraction of the lens capsule can, because of the vector forces, it can move the IOL position, ultimately lead to reduced visual acuity or increased higher order aberrations or some halo or glares. So IOL related factors are well centered IOL is very important. If there is any tilt, that can change the game. So and what is the optic of the IOL, that and material of the IOL and site of implantation of IOL, whether it's in the bag or in the sulcus. So if the IOL decentration happens, like normally decentration of less than 0.4 millimeter doesn't cause any symptoms. If it is more than 0.4, it can lead to visual phenomena. Even IOL tilt also, if it is less than 5 degree, our brain can tolerate. If it is more than that, it will also lead to some visual phenomena. So these are the determinants of IOL decentration. Whether the preoperatively there was any crystal lens tilt or not. Second one is like myopic or hyperopic eyes. Whether you have done a perfect rhexis, whether it's a small rhexis or large rhexis. Then what type of IOL we have chosen, whether it's a aspheric lens or monofocal lens or multifocal lens or EDOF. And whether there was any previous retinal surgery. So these are the determinants of the IOL decentration. So in a conventional monofocal IOL, even up to 1 millimeter decentration will not give rise to any symptoms. If it is more than 1 millimeter, it will give rise to visual symptoms. So contemporary IOLs like premium IOLs like multifocal EDOF or aspheric IOL, accommodative IOLs, even if there is a small decentration, it will give rise to visual phenomena. And if it is a wavefront correcting IOL, even a 0.3 millimeter decentration can give rise to coma aberrations. So there are a lot of studies which says that in these premium IOLs, even a small decentration or shift can lead to a lot of patient discomfort, unhappy patients basically. So we can evaluate crystal lens tilt preoperatively using a swept source OCT. So these are some studies in which it says that these decentrations can definitely give rise to a lot of unhappy patients. So we need to evaluate before surgery whether to know whether this patient is suitable or not. Even a thick PCO or any fibrous capsular thickening or this can cause decentration. Even some studies says that by doing a arc laser capsulotomy, if you do a bigger opening, that will also can give rise to decentration or and tilt of the intraocular lens. So whenever there is a IOL tilt or IOL decentration, that can give rise to all these problem. One is it can induce a new astigmatism. It can give rise to glare and halos. It can reduce, increase the higher order aberration. So how do we measure this IOL decentration? It can be a Purkinje imaging system, Scheimpflug imaging, ASOCT and eye trace. At our center we use eye trace to know the decentration. Basically we measure angle alpha. So angle alpha, the normal range is 0.3 to 0.5 millimeter. If it is more than 0.5, then definitely we don't recommend to use either aspheric lenses or EDOF or trifocal or multifocal lenses. So there are some case examples in which the case one had a 6/6 vision, but he was not happy with the quality of vision. So we went ahead and did eye trace. The angle alpha was more than 0.5 millimeter. So this is the normal clarity of vision, and with the decentration you can see the aberrations. And here you can see a decentered IOL. Here also the and this is a tilt.
We have a buffer of 15 minutes for discussion. So, sir, I think you can continue. Nikhil, I think he can continue because we still have a buffer of discussion.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Current timer mat dena, no problem. Thank you, ma'am.
In affecting the sorry.
You can go ahead, sir.
Okay. Corneal aberrations also can affect the quality of vision. So apart from axis and lines. So there are basically two types of corneal aberrations. One is lower order aberrations like spherical cylindrical power, and higher order aberrations like trefoil, coma, all those things. Whenever there is high HOS, definitely it will give rise to poor quality of vision. So we can assess this corneal aberrations pre-operatively, either using a eye trace or pentacam. So this is a picture of pentacam in which the high order aberration is 2.56. The normal is less than 0.5. So these type of cases are unfavorable for multifocal IOLs. So how we can prevent IOL decentration? So preoperative thorough evaluation is very important. So we have to identify whether there is a zonular dialysis or any zonular weakness. Then we should aim for a good and well centered rhexis. We should make sure that we aspirate the cortical matter and visco completely, and to prevent PCO it's better to do a capsular flushing. And if we feel that there is a weak zonules, it's better to implant a CTR either before phaco emulsification or after phaco emulsification. And one more thing in a diffractive multifocal IOL is, for example, when there is a high angle alpha and you have placed a diffractive multifocal IOL. Here it is decentered relative to the visual axis. So patient might look through these diffractive rings rather than through the central optical zone intended, which can cause deterioration of visual quality. So that's how we'll have an unhappy patient, even though patient is reading 6.6, but because of high angle alpha, he is having very poor quality of vision with induced high order aberration, glare and halos. So centration of the IOL, especially multifocal or EDOF or mild to moderate high toric IOL, is very important. Otherwise it will lead to these visual phenomena. So when the optics of the implant and the optics of the eye align, we will have a very good outcome and we will have a very happy patient. So take home message is up to 5 degree tilt is usually present in crystalline lens. Post-operative IOL tilt depends on the pre-operative lens tilt. Final quality of vision depends on the combination of IOL decentration and tilt. Two most important determinants of IOL centration are types of rhexis and position of the haptic. So like in the back is more safer for the decentration compared to the sulcus. Effect of IOL decentration is more in aberration correcting IOLs. Like if it is multifocal, it is more compared to monofocal. But if there is a like high angle alpha, it's better to avoid multifocal EDOF and like maybe high toric IOLs. So advantage of aspheric IOL is lost when the decentration is more than 0.5 millimeter. Thank you.